Fire! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ropa and this is Cynthy. So if you watched the previous video, you know who she is already. But for the sake of those who didn't watch the previous video, I'm going to introduce Cynthy again. Cynthy is a wonderful friend of mine and I love her. I absolutely love her and I look up to her.
Thank you for having me.
And I really look up to her because of a lot of things that she does. And yeah, I think you might need to go to the previous video because I don't want to explain again how I met her. No, and for you to actually understand the part 2, you need to go to the part 1 because we're just doing a continuation.
Yeah. Go to part 1, guys.
Go to part 1, and guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, and to subscribe, and to check out Cynthy's channel. The link is in the description box and in the comment section. I pinned it. So do go there right now. Yes, you. Go and check it out and you can come back. Anyway, so this is a part 2
can I just say, I love how you've just become this dynamite in terms of presenting. Do you guys see how amazing she is? She's got this energy. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I got that from her. Like, you should see her on the stage. She's like a dynamite, guys. Like, when she speaks, she's got so much, she just shows so much radiance, and she's so eloquent, and she's just there. She has a stage presence that I really love.
Thank you
so
much.
These are the people that you should look to, like, these are the people that you should, talk to, acquaint yourself with,
Ropa, stop Thank you, love.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, guys, today we're continuing, and if you see me looking down, I'm probably I like to just write. I think you know by now. I like to write things down so that I just have a direction on what I'm talking about. And sometimes, no, I think sometimes when you're in front of the camera, you tend to, sometimes you might forget about what you wanted to say.
You'll be looking at yourself.
So today it's a part 2 of have you ever had an I deserve better moment in my life. So yeah, we're getting right into it. So I just did a little bit of research and I'm just going to read out what I found out. So the person who is talking about this was saying, I think the statement, I deserve better, is such an accurate and honest statement that we should all take seriously. She says a relationship of any kind should be two-sided to such an extent that you care enough about each other to do the work to be better for both of you. And some people cannot be better because they are either afraid of being vulnerable, maybe they are not ready to put in the work, maybe they have commitment issues. And like I said in the previous video, this goes to all relationships. Maybe it's relatives, maybe it's family, maybe it's friendship, maybe it's a romantic relationship. So guys, don't get me wrong, it hurts. Like, you will think, do they like me? Do they love me? Do they ever love me? Actually, and you would think after that whole session when you say I deserve better, you will think, do they ever think about me? It's going to hurt, but it's the process. But it will hurt. So she says, but it doesn't really matter because they are not capable of loving you. Close the emotional doors now. Do it now. Choose to move on. Fall in love with the idea of walking away from someone who isn't right for you. And the moment you start to feel like someone's option B, the relationship can no longer be your priority. You deserve better. And she could not have said it any better. Like, I was just there and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. As you were reading, there's a part that resonated with me. Was it this part where some people cannot be better because they are afraid of being vulnerable?
Yeah.
And it made me realize a human being, and I always say this, a human being cannot practice what they don't know. You can only do what you know.
Yeah.
Some people don't know how to love.
Yeah.
They've never been loved. They don't understand being loved. It makes them uncomfortable. And because they don't know how to love, they can't love you.
Definitely.
And when someone doesn't love you, you feel it, because love is a powerful emotion. You either feel it or you don't feel it. And because we want to be loved, when you don't feel it, it hurts you, because that's what you expect. Disappointment does not just come, it comes from expectation. So when you expect to be loved, especially when you have high expectations, you get hurt. So a part of like trying to move on when you get your I deserve better moment is to realize that people can only do what they know.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't know how to love, they're not going to know how to love you.
Yeah.
So when you know that information, you'll heal better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. So I think we can get in, because I like I did say, we did ask for, what do you call it, input into this video. So it would be so unfair for me to just ask you for your opinions and not like go through them. So Cynthy will just go through them. I think we read one of them, so we're going to go through all of them now.
Okay. So this is another one, so excluding the names, of course. Yes, some time ago, I was seeing this guy. We weren't really in a relationship, but a situationship. We've all been there, you know.
Yeah.
So it had been going on for a couple of months, and one of his family members passed away. And being the type of person I am, I decided to take them out just so they could feel better. We went and everything was going well. We had like a small disagreement, and I went to the bathroom, and when I came, he was gone.
Yo!
He decided to leave me alone with his friends. The disrespect.
The disrespect.
That's actually what the person said, the disrespect. And then decided to go home. The next day, he was just quiet, didn't hear from him at all. So the dumb me texted him just to, you're not dumb, sweetie, texted him just to make sure he was okay, and he was. And I was low-key pissed that he had left me. But then I told his, I told his something. I was worried about him, and I was like, don't worry about him. Oh, and the person, I think she meant to say his friend, that she was worried about him, and he was like, don't worry about him. Anyway, I told when the friend tells you don't worry about him, then you must know.
You must know.
I told myself I was never going to put myself in that position ever again. And now when I look back, I don't recognize that girl anymore. This girl knows her worth.
Girl, power to you. Power to you.
There's nothing more to say to this, because now she's like, I don't know who that person is. You know, we're from the same church, right? And the founder of our church always says, he actually wrote a book and he said, a human being cannot change without pressure. So if there's no pressure applied, you're not going to change. So you change through hurt, through the pressures of life. And this right here, this is the powerful statement. This girl knows her worth. And I love that she says it powerfully, confidently.
Yeah, I don't recognize who that person was. I don't even want to be that person anymore. I know who I am now.
And I love that. And she's grown. And I'm sure this guy is probably like, oh gosh, I missed a great girl, you know, because she's probably an amazing person. I can already see with how she wrote it all out. And guys don't really know what they have
until it's gone.
And when a woman is done, she's done.
She's done.
There's no, you can do whatever you want. Like when
you can buy roses, buy food, but I'm done.
She's gonna eat the food. She may
eat the food, but she's done because she gone.
Let's see. Is there another one?
I think there was some. Yes, those ones.
Okay. These ones at work at the moment.
Yeah, they were just because the question I said, have you ever had an I deserve better moment in your life? So job, friendship. Someone said job, friendships. Can we talk about? I once spoke about toxic work environments where I spoke about when to know when to leave, when you should leave, when you are in the situation where you're the sole breadwinner of the family, and I feel like it's something that's overlooked a lot because there's so many I deserve moments in toxic work environments, but just because that's the source of your income, that's how you make a living, you stay. So I feel like it's also maybe in another video where we can talk about how people deal with toxic, because right now the topic is just so broad, but that's something someone said, job, friendships. I once had a friend,
I once said this publicly, but I didn't mention the friend's name.
Okay.
When my grandmother passed on, my grandmother passed on 21 days after my wedding. And she was sick. It was a very painful experience because I didn't expect her to go.
Yeah.
And when she passed on, I had a friend that I considered a very close friend of mine. And she updated her status asking, oh, where can I go? I'm bored, on the day that my grandmother passed on, of which she knew about it. And she was like, oh, I'm so bored. I don't know where to go to. And, she was, with her car and everything. So I was like, but
so much for
that
being
my
friends,
grandmother,
eh?
exactly, that she passed on. And I just got a condolences message. I know, I'm sorry for your loss. And my grandmother wasn't buried for 2 weeks after she passed on. And every day, in the African culture, everyone goes to the house. She wasn't there. She didn't show up. And that was my moment I deserve better. But here's the thing. I didn't handle that maturely.
Yeah.
I didn't communicate. I let it build up inside of me until I lashed out at her this one time. And she lashed out at me because she was going through something. And I didn't realize how she was dealing with it. And so she also felt like I deserve better. And I felt like I deserve better. And we clashed. And I realized I was insensitive. And she realized she was insensitive. And then she reached out to me and she's like, okay, you know what? We've grown, but let's make this work. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. I'm sorry for hurting you in any way. So these I deserve better moments. Like, I don't know if we're going to talk about that, like the selfish part. It's also important to understand, like, what the other person is going through, how they're feeling about a situation. It's not just about you. Like, oh, they did this to me. Like, like I'm telling you this story from my side. And maybe she's also like, but you don't even know what I was dealing with. What I posted may not have been what was actually going on the ground. And I talk so much. Oh my gosh.
No, sorry. It's good that we're sharing our experiences, because I feel like sometimes people will just be like, so they want to share, they want us to share our experiences, but we're theirs.
It's true.
So I think one of them on app. One of the experiences, I don't know if you're done with the ones from IG. These were all from IG. So if you responded, I think.
Oh yeah. I got one here. So it was my first year of uni, and I was dating this guy. Laughing emoji. I really know it's gonna be deep. So when you're dating, you know each other's timetable, etc. One day my class was cancelled, and I decided to go to his place since we always grab dinner together after school. Oh, that's nice. I tried calling him for like 3 times and he didn't pick up. So I just decided to show up because
that's when he goes the outrageous.
Because I knew he didn't have any classes that time. Okay, but he's still mad though. Okay. Yeah. So I got there and knocked, but no one answered. So I called his phone and I heard it ringing inside. So I just assumed
the disrespect.
He was nearby. I just sat nearby waiting for him. As I was sitting, the roommate came, so he was like, come and sit inside. He tried to unlock the door and there was a key inside. So he knocked and said his name and the door was open and I got into the room. There was my darling man wearing a short and a girl lying in his bed. He turned the story around as if it was my fault for showing up unannounced. I'm in shock. What?
So now it's my fault. It's my fault that I'm
then you're in bed with another girl
to look for my man, and I'm finding you in your shorts in bed with another girl.
No. I once saw a guy when I was still dating, because I stopped dating casually when I rededicated my life to Christ. So there was this one time I was dating this guy and I found him in bed with another girl. And this girl was in the room and she was like, who's that? And he's like, it's my sister.
Yo.
No, not him. He said to me, sorry, I walked in and she was in the room and I was like, who's that? Then he's like, it's my sister. He said in Afrikaans and I'm like, let me say hi to her. And then he's like, no. Then that girl heard me and she's like, hey, I want to go use the bathroom. And then he's like, no, pee there. Like, I'm busy here. And he had locked her. He had locked the room. So I was like, I'm reading this and he took me back there and I'm like, I don't have any words, but I'm glad that she had her I deserve better moment because there's no way you can go back to that. The key was in the door. The phone was ringing.
Like, which means he actually heard her and he decided not to open. And this girl probably knew that this was the girlfriend. Like, this is the main chick, as we like to call it, you know, these days. Main chick and side chick.
But why? You know, why? Just break up. Just. But you know, Ropa, that's also another thing that made me realize that my I deserve better moment was like, after everything, I was like, I'm not gonna casually date anymore. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm gonna rededicate my life to Christ.
Yeah.
Still being the cool person that I am. You know, I'm gonna be me. But I'm done. I'm done. The next person that wants to be with me, you are going to be accountable to my parents. If I want you to be accountable to the church leaders, you will be accountable to them. You are going to be accountable. Because a man who is not accountable does not have integrity.
Yeah.
And if a man does not have integrity, he's going to be cheating on you, he's going to mess around with you. He will not know how to treat you. So that was me. Like, I'm reading all these stories and it resonates with I went through these things as a girl. And I'm like, you know, I came to a point where I was done. So we just need people to be done.
Yeah.
Just say, no, I'm done. If a man wants you, he's gonna treat you the way you deserve to be treated.
And even, can I talk about how friendships,
Please.
like...
Sorry, I moved to the romantic...
Not even,
side,
it's fine, it's really fine.
Yeah.
For me, I've really been, like, I think I talked about it, how I tend to let people in so easily and everyone becomes a friend. But then now I'm at a stage whereby I feel like, you know what, if you're not going to meet each other halfway as friends, then there is no way that this relationship is going to work. Because I've had friends in the past, because as you can see, I'm a very active person. So be it at school, be it in my social life, be it everywhere, I'm very active.
You're always involved.
Yeah. At university, I did modeling, yes, once. I was there for Mr. and Miss Unam. I didn't qualify for the finals, but yes, I tried it. I even tried, SRC. And you know, one of the frustrating things for me back in university, I still feel like this was the worst day of my life, when the results were coming out. And wait, even before, you know, as a friend, you're supposed to be like, Cynthy, you're running for SRC. How is it going? Even if you're not able to contribute financially, because guess what? I understand that we are both students at the time. So
but your presence is required.
Your presence, just
friendship is a job. People forget.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
I expected that my friends were going to be like, Ropa, do you need help? Do you need manpower on the ground? I've got people that I know, because guess what? We all have different circles. Even as much as we are friends, you will know Tarino, you will know an Asahel, you will know a Sharon, you know different people whom I don't know.
Yeah.
So you can bring those people, and guess what? I now have got a lot of manpower. I've got my friends, my colleagues, my acquaintances, and you've got your friends, your acquaintances, your colleagues on the ground, and we are building it up to just go and, you know, build the campaign up.
Yeah.
I expected that from them. Guys, you big people, guys, today, please come, let's support me. And you know, the people who supported me at that time were not my friends. They were not my friends.
Why? But in the moment you make it.
On the day of when the results were coming out, my friends went home, guys.
What?
They went home. I was left by myself. I remember calling my friend.
Are you still friends?
We talk.
Sorry, we're putting you on the spot.
And I had to call a friend of mine called Kundai Makanza, and she's in South Africa, and I cried. I cried, and I'm like, Kundi, the people I call friends, they went home. They left me on campus. And we were running for the same post. And I just needed the moral support, because you never know what could happen. Either way, if I win, I want to celebrate my win with you. If I lose, I want you to be there and cry together and hold me. There was no one to do that. They went home. And luckily, I think one of my friends called Donald, he was there, but he was also at work, so he couldn't even be there.
Is this?
He was Donald, the one who works at ODS. A tall guy.
Is he dog?
Yes.
Yeah?
You know him? So Donald works at ODS, and he couldn't be there
on camera.
He couldn't be there but he was, guys, we were not close like that. But he was one of those people who was there. And I remember Faith, she wasn't even at school. She was no longer a student at university, but she was there. You know, like when you say people were there, she was one of those people who were like really involved. And I could name a few of my friends, even the Kuzis, who were there at that moment. But the people that I expected to be there, like the people that I experienced day-to-day life with, I couldn't find them in that moment. I mean, but yo guys, it was very disappointing. So it was in that moment when I was like, I deserve better. I really do deserve better, because if you're not going to be there with me and on such an important day,
why are we friends?
Why are we friends?
Why is this happening?
And it's even the same like with YouTube channels. You would expect like, okay, you're going to do certain things. Maybe just put it on your like share it on your status. It's just sharing.
Yeah, you don't even need to say anything.
Sometimes you don't even need to watch the video. Just share the link. You never know who might be interested in the content.
Yeah, you once said this thing where you once shared something of how to support your friend. Like play the video and mute it. Like mute it and go on with your life.
Like we understand my content might not be the one that
you resonate with.
Mute it.
Grammatically correct that you resonate with, that resonates with you, but you get what
I think you catch the drift. You catch the drift. Like put it on mute. You can share it. You can do a lot of things. You can even just go play it for 3 minutes and then you and you're off. It does a lot for us as content creators, and I feel like these are things that.
We get it,
but like people will never understand.
But do you know that if I see a video from you or from Avehe or from the other YouTubers that that I interact with, before I even watch the video, I give it a like, because I understand the support is important. Like that one like means a lot. And people just go on about life like, oh, I love you, you're my friend, but I don't see that support, But another thing also that I experienced terribly was when I met Norman, I had a very bad separation from my friends. You're getting a call. I had a very bad separation from my friends. Oh, we have to hurry because the video is... And it was terrible for me, the whole experience, because I love my friends. But when we got back together, it was a thing of we had to grow separately for us to come back together to grow. And there were certain things that, because around that time I stopped drinking as well, and that didn't sit well with some of my friends, and that caused a lot of clashes. And I wasn't supported in that journey, and it was just a lot of heartbreak. But then when we got back together, it was a thing of, oh, we didn't support you and you were on this journey. And I was like, but I was also not very gracious in respect of, me getting married, because I didn't tell my friends. And it was just the whole thing of, but we came together and now we're grown. We don't call each other every day, but when we need each other, we're there for each other. When we need to talk, we're there, That's the kind of, and I think that's growth, where you are now at this level where you don't need to talk every day, but when you need someone to be there for you, they're there for you. And I think that's what you base it on, proper friendship.
Because we understand we're all growing, we all have things to do here.
Life is hectic.
Life is hectic.
Even if we have nothing
we're
to
not
do,
expecting.
We don't have the energy.
We don't want to talk every day. If you can, that's great, guys. I've seen people who do it, who are talking every single day, and they laugh, they've got these moments, and as much as they are busy. But guess what? I know some people really, we're not able to do it. But in that time where I need you to be there as a friend, be there. Show
Especially
that
by us, to be there for
and the same, if you would want the same for me, let me know.
Communication, right?
But something that I also, like a different perspective on all of this, something that I also researched, and I was like, okay, actually I was just listening to a video, it was by Priscilla Scher. And they were talking about how, about forgiveness, and I saw how this was going hand in hand with this. And I was like, this is such a different perspective. So I'm just going to read out what I learned, because we're going to end up talking a lot if I'm going to explain. But
I want to hear what she has to say.
So she said, what you sow is what you reap. So sometimes in these relationships, I might feel like, I'm not getting what I want, but at the same time, maybe I'm just putting less and less into this relationship, and that is what I'm getting. So if you sow, love, compassion, grace into the relationship, that's what you will reap.
Yeah.
And then she said, sometimes we're really coming from a selfish motive. We are not empathizing with the other person. We don't desire to understand why the other person is acting like that. So sometimes you might be like, I don't deserve this. I deserve better. But have you ever stopped to think and be like, but why is this person acting like this? So that was like a really different perspective for me. Like, okay, so sometimes you really, and I think you mentioned it, like when you had a crush with your friend and she was going through something and you were going through something.
Yeah, and we both didn't realize.
You both
but
didn't
can
realize.
I say something on this? I'm so sorry. On what you saw is what you read. I just want to disagree just a little bit. I mean, I don't want to be disagreeing with the woman of God. But my opinion is that sometimes you can sow love into that relationship, but sometimes the ground isn't.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes it's not
like
the right
growing
place.
a tree.
Yes, you can't. So it's exhausting. It becomes exhausting for you to continue showing this person love when they don't even understand love.
Yeah,
I'm saying
the image of a tree whereby the ground is not fertile.
Yeah.
So you sow a plant, you sow a plant seed into the ground. You keep watering it. There's sunshine. Yes, and then there's sunshine.
Yeah.
And you are taking the effort to continue to water it. But because guess what, the ground is not, fertile. You won't get a plant. Yeah. It won't grow. Even if it comes out, it won't grow.
And you're going to be exhausted from all the energy that you're putting into it. So,
So she was saying on the selfish motive also, don't discredit, seek to understand where, and this is why I think is it the first video that I talked about the relationship that I recently came out from? Not the relationship, the situationship, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was the first one.
I sought to understand, like, okay, but why am I hearing this? And yet I heard differently. But sometimes I don't think it's worth it. Like in that situation, I don't think closure was the right thing. I don't think it was. Seek to understand also. Yeah. And she goes on to say, gentleness is going to be, is saying, I'm going to be for you, not against you. So as Christians, sometimes we need to come from a place of gentleness. And so when you're seeking to understand, it's saying, not everything that you say, I'm just like, but no, you did this, but no, you did this. But you're listening with gentleness and saying, I'm going to be for you.
It's to do away with accusation.
Yeah.
Instead of being accusatory.
It's a word. It's a word.
It's better to be gentle, like she says, and your intention must be to nurture the relationship.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And because some of us, when we're going now to understand, you're going to understand, but also you've made up your mind that, you know what, it's over.
Yeah.
I'm done. Yeah. So I want to understand, but I'm done.
So then it won't work.
Yeah.
It's toxic, actually.
It's toxic.
Yeah.
So she says, absence of love, she says love keeps no record of wrong. So
that's a difficult one, though.
Yeah.
Because when you love someone, you're emotionally involved, and when you're more emotionally involved, almost anything that they do affects you.
It does.
So it's very difficult to let go of those things. But also when you love the right way, like the right way, and the right person, and the right person, it's gonna help you to forgive and to let go. Yeah.
And then she talked along the lines of emotional baggage. And this for me was like, and even reading some of these things that we were sharing with me, I realized that a lot of us are really carrying this emotional baggage whereby you have been hurt in the past. And trust me, I know what you're going through. Like, at this point, after this whole thing that happened, like this happened like literally, and this relationship ended in April. I call it a relationship because it was 2 months of getting to know someone. It's a relationship. Yeah. So now I came to a point where I was just like, I told myself like, enough is enough, but I'm tired. Like you think you're getting to know someone, and so some of us are really carrying that those things, whether it's trauma from the childhood, whether it's relationships, the romantic relationships, whether it's friendships. But guess what? We have to come to a point where we just let it go.
Yeah.
Because you won't be able to heal, and healing is only good for you because you won't be able to love anyone, or you won't be able to let people in.
Yeah.
And I think it's important as human beings to be able to let people in and to be able to love again.
Yeah.
But guess what? Until you haven't gotten rid of that emotional baggage, it's going to haunt you.
It's going to haunt you. Emotional baggage has, I mean, the video is already long, so I don't want to say much. People don't know that they're dealing with stuff from the past until they find themselves in circumstances that exposes those things. So it's very important for when you have gone through something to deal with that and to free yourself from that mental, I like to call it mental slavery, where you are held back. Doing this NLP practitioner course, and they teach us on how your past has a hold on who you are. So only until you get rid of the past and you deal with it and you leave it there and you use it to be better in the future, can you then have healthy relationships with people. And that comes with being able to deal with emotions well. I'm not saying emotions are not there. Negative emotions can come, but now it's about how you deal with them, because they must be dealt with.
We're sorry, like we're sorry, not sorry. We're too
not sorry.
talkative people, and I think it's just being in front of the camera, and we love it, and we really just wanted to share on this and just be as authentic as we can be, and just share on what we have learned and on our experiences. And guess what? If you've got the time and if you love us, I'm sure you've stuck until the end. Anyway, so if you were strong enough, thank you for sticking right to the end. And
thank you for the support.
Yes, thank you for the support.
Supporting Black women.
It means a lot. Thank you for supporting small businesses.
And remember to like the video. Remember, liking the video increases the chances of more people viewing it. So thank you for your support.
Definitely. And don't forget to pass by the channel. Don't pass. Go and subscribe. Like those videos. Like, you will definitely learn a lot from her channel. And even to those people who are married, like, she's got a lot of lovely things for married people. And even if you're not married, like, I feel like her content is for everyone. You will definitely enjoy. So go and subscribe. Put on that post notification bell. And otherwise, we love you. We appreciate you. And bye.